going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry my voice is a little off because I've been a little sick the last couple days. Joe's gonna be pissed when he finds out I got him sick, but sorry Joe, we gotta get this damn car finished. Anyways, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you go and hit that subscribe button. I haven't said that in a long time. Joe and I were talking about that last night actually, but if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Yeah, so last video we left off with getting the engine installed. Finally got the engine in there. Wasn't too big a deal. It's usually pretty easy to get the engine. I can usually get it in within like 20-30 minutes on my own. Just had to move a few things out of the way. Now there's a lot of big steps that have to be done next. One of the major ones is trying to get that wiring harness figured out, but there's a few other things we need to get done first so that I can be working on the wiring harness portion while Joe's starting to do the fab work. So I did have to order a bunch of piping and chromoly, not a lot of chromoly tubing, more of a ton of aluminum piping for the inner, or for the cold side actually, to go to the intercooler, and then a lot of the hot side piping, so some 2.5 inch 304 stainless steel. So I got all that ordered. I'll post up a picture here. We actually kind of mocked up, I'm gonna give you guys like a little sneak peek of where we're gonna possibly put the turbo and the intercooler. Now the intercooler will look kind of crooked because the intercooler is actually obviously flat on the bottom and top, but the way that the cores are done, it has an angle to the actual core itself. So it'll look like it's angled. It's kind of kind of messes with your mind. It's not actually angled. That's just the way the intercooler is designed. But anyways, that's essentially where we're gonna put everything. And we wanted to get that out of the way first so that I could start ordering piping, because it does take some time. So I've got a 1 1/4 inch stick of chromoly in the back. I think it's 850 thick or something like that. I'm not sure the exact wall, but it's a little bit thicker wall. But anyways, that tube is essentially gonna support the turbo with a Maven mount, Hughes Maven Performance. And then that's gonna support the intercooler and support the radiator. So when we get to that portion, I'll kind of show you guys how we have it mapped out. But essentially, you guys saw me load the transmission up. We're finally bringing the Hughes Powerglide transmission over. Huge thanks to Hughes Performance for jumping on board this year. I'm really excited to run their transmissions, as I think that's like the next level that I need for the car as far as transmission goes. But I've talked about it in a previous video. You guys can go check that out. But it's just a aftermarket case Hughes Powerglide transmission, all built internals, super nice transmission, and one of their torque converters. I want to upgrade to their bolt together, but probably do that in the future. Should have done it already, but whatever. That's an upgrade for summertime. So got the transmission loaded up, got all the fluids for the rear end for the transmission, got the torque converter, and then brought over a few like miscellaneous things. So essentially, Joe's going racing this weekend, I believe. So today's Friday. Wanted to get the transmission in, get that all mounted up so we could A, measure for a drive shaft, B, start looking at ride height, because I think we're gonna need different springs in the front because now everything's kind of moved around, the weight bias has moved, so we're probably gonna need some new springs in the front. So we kind of want to see where the ride height's at so we can start ordering parts, because we don't want parts to hold us up once we get closer to the end of the build. But we did get, like I said, got the chromoly in already, so that we could start fabbing up the mounts for the turbo and for the intercooler and for the radiator and all that stuff. And I did order all the piping. So just to give you guys an idea, Joe and I were talking about this last night, is kind of the price of just the materials itself. Yesterday I bought the hot side piping, so not including the headers, not including the down pipe. I had already purchased those. Headers are anywhere from like 800 to $1,000, and then a down pipe kit cuts a 5 inch with V-band and the O2 sensor bung. That's usually around $250 to $300. Now last night I spent about $500 and bought the 4 inch cold side piping. Where it gets expensive is when you have to buy tight radius. So you have like a 90 degree with whatever center line it is, and then you have another 90 degree with an even shorter center line, and it's just a tight radius pipe. So those are a lot more expensive. So yeah, I spent $500 last night just on the cold side piping, and then the hot side, 2.5 inch 304 stainless steel. That's gonna connect essentially the exhaust to the turbo and get all the hot side stuff done. So $500 there, about $250 on a downpipe kit. That's $750, and that's not including like all the VAN clamps. But just so you guys know, like you had about $1,000 in material just for like hot side and cold side. not including headers. So if you guys are wanting on building a kit yourself, it's definitely not always cheaper, but you can pick a better product and you know that this isn't Chinese made steel or aluminum. So it's nice quality stuff. But yeah, so we're going over to Joe's. We're gonna get the transmission mounted up today, and I'm not sure what else we have on the agenda, but I'll see you guys over there. All right, so there's the Hughes transmission, if you guys haven't seen it. You always know it's Hughes because everything's red, but SFI, reed case, Powerglide transmission, trans brake. It's even got a little catch can on the front. So you can see if any fluid overflows, goes a little catch can down there. Super nice piece. Really excited to be running them this year. And so yeah, we're gonna get that in. Got Hughes transmission fluid, got their converter down there, and the little baby turbo. Something slight.
Oh shit.
This is your camera. Good footage, Dave. Good footage.
You hear that steel tunnel, baby? Alright.
This is what you have to do to make a Powerglide fit in an S550.
That's stock Powerglide.
On the did we bang the other side for the Turbo 400?
Here's another small plug.
Which one is it?
I don't know. I have no idea what the fuck this is. There's so many, bro.
Just don't, yeah, just make sure anything that's still plugged, leave it out. There you go.
Don't worry, Dave. I've never done this before, but I know what I'm doing.
I've never done this before, but I know what I'm doing.
You up?
We are working on the mess today. Joe's over there messing around with his car. I don't know what he's doing. What are you doing, Joe?
I'm adding weight to go fast. That's how it works, right?
I thought you were supposed to take weight off.
Oh, no, I must have missed that now.
Yeah.
I went and bought all this lead because someone told me lead makes you go faster.
Subscribe to Streetcar Joe to see what madness he's doing. Yeah, so we're attacking the harness today. Got Chase helping out. And yeah, it's a mess. So this whole loom here comes on the passenger side typically. We're gonna try and run that behind the engine, then just extend some of the plugs that come back on this side. Really, most of the plugs actually come from the harness on that side, so.
Bro, do you use like 3 rolls of electrical tape on this?
No, that's factory.
What the f?
That's all factory.
Are you? Oh my god.
Alright, so we ran this harness.
Easy there, killer.
Cleaned it up. Fender's loose. No big deal. Cleaned that up, so now we're gonna get the intake manifold finally on.
What? Are you, what? What are you doing? Hey, no, no!
Why is there so much stuff back there?
I'm polishing some of the components back
okay.
here. You know, I like a clean looking car.
Yeah, of course.
So, what are you doing, Dave?
You clean your car more
Why
than
are you
race
working outside?
It's nice out.
It is nice. I see. Just thought you'd push it out. Get
Yeah.
some sun.
Let it bake a little bit.
I like it. Sorry, continue
it
what
cure.
you're doing. Man, look at them ports. Were those done by like a blind person? No, I'm just kidding.
JR did them himself with a screwdriver.
No, they look pretty
Hand
nice,
grip.
man.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at those little baby valves. That's funny. 4 cams, man. That means you go 340s, right?
Nah, 4 cams mean you run 5s, according to my buddy Harper.
Oh, facts. Oh, no, they look nice.
All right, so Chase and myself have made some pretty good progress. Got the intake manifold on, got the fuel injectors on, Shell Fuel Injector Clinic. Got the Lethal Performance Division X rails back on. All the plugs are gapped, coils are back on, and we are trying to clean up this mess. So we got the other side pretty good. I showed you guys earlier, but we essentially took that big harness that went on the driver's side and moved it all over there. And the only wires we're gonna have to extend back this way, I think, is gonna be the headlight and maybe one more harness. So it should be pretty easy, but this cleaned up nicely. And right now, since we moved the fuse box back here, I think we're gonna have to extend the starter power wire and possibly the alternator power wire. So that's what we're unraveling this loom. We're essentially gonna attack each loom at a time. So we'll do these ones first, get those situated, get the starter in the car, and yeah, just keep working on it. But we are definitely making some progress. It is a huge task to get all this stuff taken apart.
Electrical just sucks.
Electrical just sucks. So Joe's car's out of the garage. Tank's thing's back in. Joe's car is in the box, ready to go racing tomorrow. And we're just gonna try and make some pretty good progress on this tonight, because Joe's gonna be gone racing tomorrow, so we probably won't get back to working on this till Monday. And hopefully we have a lot of this done by Monday or Tuesday, and then hopefully the piping shows up so then we can start on some of the fab work.